Planet Zoo has been rated E10 Plus by the MSRB for crude humor, mild blood, and mild violence. It has been approved for all persons ages 10 and over. This video is brought to you in part by The Night Sheriff by Phil Foglio. Bartholomew Xenon Land is protected by the Night Sheriff. Day and night, he's burdened by a witch's curse to be aware of all that live and play within the massive fantasy theme park. Now an attack on the park by a monster hunter who knows far too much threatens everything: the guests, the staff, and the supernaturals who take refuge in the park. The Night Sheriff must scramble to uncover not only the source of the threat, but the secrets of the park of which even he was not aware. If he doesn't, he may be doomed. The park may be doomed. And even the world may be doomed. And that's a lot of doom. Go to Amazon.com for your copy today. To the Rainbow Valley Zoo Project. If this is your first time here, I want to welcome you aboard. If you've been here before, welcome back. Either way, thank you very much for watching my content. I appreciate the heck out of it. As promised at the end of the last episode, what we're doing today is we're building a habitat for the Sable Antelope. Now, the Sable Antelope is normally found in the African plains, the grasslands of central South Africa. What a lot of American kids assumed was all the Serengeti, despite the fact that the Serengeti is a specific area in Africa. Any case, it's a pretty cool utility infielder species. They're medianly popular, nowhere near the most popular animal in the game, but they serve as a good midpoint animal after you've got your warthogs in and your peafowl and maybe your llamas. Your next couple of animals can be, sable antelope, things like that. Although, I did kangaroos. Kangaroos are on the same general appeal level as the sable antelope. So it's, basically it's the same effect. It's midpoint animals. And that's basically what we're doing. We're putting in some midpoint animals. But I had a pretty good idea for a habitat. It's going to be a small habitat, not very large. And it's basically going to be a bit of a filler habitat because I'm putting it right here next to the kangaroos and a little ways behind this shop here that I put in for the warthogs. Now, what I want to make sure is that I give the antelope all the space that they need, while at the same time, working within the restrictions of the area that I'm building in. And that's always the trick. It's always the trick. So what I may end up doing here, normally I would make a backstage entrance over here somewhere, but if you look at what I've got available, I may not be able to do that. Let me see if I can move this rock formation out of the way a little. Make my, give myself a little bit more room for pathing. So yeah, no, that'll work. It won't give me much room, but it'll be all right. So let's put in our habitat entrance. I'm going to put it right over here. No, I need it to be on the outside. Yeah, that's it. Thank you. And let's bring it up here about like that, I'm thinking. And then let me get the path. All right. Shave that down to... Can I get a T-junction out of this, maybe? Let's find out. That'll work. It doesn't have to be pretty as long as it's functional. Now, I'm going to borrow some of this fencing. Nice generic fencing. And we'll get it put in. So anyway, I'm planning on altering the terrain just a little bit with this habitat. It's going to mostly be flat, but I'm going to drop it a little along this front leading edge here. And we'll see how that works. I think it's going to work just fine. But, you know, sometimes it gets complicated. You know how these things are. Alright. What do we want to do here? Let me see something. If I can move this entrance to here, like that. There we, yeah, that'll work. Okay, let's just move it in line with the pieces. Like that. Okay. And then just a touch there. Now, what I need is the arbor. 2 meter, 4 meter, 4 by 2. Well, that would certainly cover up the door, but that's not what I want to do. 4 by 0.5. That's, I don't know, that's a little iffy, but let's check it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, let's move this into place, see if it actually works. Hopefully it will. I just want to fill in that space, you know what I mean? Okay, and then we can drop it to equal that. Yes, this is going to work. Okay, so we'll bring another one down this way. And we'll back it up so that it's in there. That's alright. It's not quite even on the sides, but you know what? That's okay. And then we'll bring it up like this, and it's still not going to work. Okay, so let's see. What do we want? We want that. That'll work. It doesn't have to be exact. Don't ever, you know, I mean, good enough is good enough in this game, especially if it looks good while it's good enough. You don't have to make it exact. You don't have to make it perfect. As long as it works for you and as long as you're happy with it, you're fine. You're golden. Now let's fix this barrier. There. Okay, we'll bring this back that way because I do intend to extend this fencing. This fencing is going to be the back wall of the habitat. So anyway, guys, let's go ahead and turn this over to the time lapse, and I'll get the greater majority of the work done on this habitat, and I will talk to you in a couple of minutes. Enjoy the speed build and enjoy the music, please. Okay, here we have the finished habitat. It is very simple. These animals are easy to care for. You give them some cover. Whoops, hello. You give them some cover. You give them some toys. You give them a place to live. They do have they can get away from the crowds by coming back here and getting behind the rocks. They are capable of getting up here and sleeping up here, despite the fact that they seem to be sleeping on their food dish. And there's plenty of room for the population we have. And as it grows, I'll be trading off the excess, because that's how zoos exist. But yeah, it worked out just fine. It was a very simple build, didn't take too long, and I like how it turned out. It was a bit of a space filler, and I admit it. Now, the next habitat is going to be the Nyala, and I'm thinking about putting it over here. And the Nyala is going to be interesting because while it's a grassland animal, it's also a tropical animal, so I may do a mix. I may green up their habitat a bit more than I normally would for a desert a desert zoo. Not that I haven't greened up these habitats. I mean, look at this. This is a greened up habitat. There's a lot of green in this one too. But what I mean is I'm going to go whole hog tropical jungle on these Nyala in the middle of a desert. I might make it an indoor. I don't know yet. I haven't decided. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you later. Enjoy a little bit of a cinematic, okay? I shall talk to you in the next episode. Bye-bye.